Hi, I'm Michael Baker. Along with my partner Dean Hill, we represent Shield U Insurance Group. We offer gun liability policy for active and retired law enforcement. Now you're asking yourself, what does a gun liability protect you against? Very simply, if you get involved in a shooting, there's a very high probability there's going to be a civil suit that follows. So we'll cover all the defense costs associated with that civil suit on an unlimited basis. So whatever the defense cost is, that's what we'll cover. On top of that, at the end of the case, if in fact there's a liability where you have to make a monetary settlement, we'll pay up to an additional $250,000 on your behalf to settle the case and move forward. We are one of the only companies, I think the only company, that if you do any sort of part-time security or moonlighting, we offer coverage while you're doing that. Every other policy out there has an exclusion if you're employed elsewhere. Our policy is designed primarily to be civil suits. If you're criminally charged, hopefully that never happens, but if you are, our policy is limited on what we can do for simple reasons is it's illegal to insure a criminal act. But what we can do is we'll advance you $10,000 that's to be used for the retainer for a criminal attorney. Once that criminal attorney is going, you're on your own to handle the criminal case. If at some point or at the end of that case, if the charges are dismissed or dropped, you're acquitted, found not guilty, anything in that realm, then we will reimburse your attorney costs up to $100,000. The coverage is good for any active or retired law enforcement. It automatically, same price, no endorsements or anything, includes a spouse. And if you still have children in the household that are under 25, they're automatically included in the same policy, same cost. Now we've added a couple of features to the policy that hopefully will benefit you in the event of a shooting. You're specially trained, so you're probably going to mentally deal with the shooting situation a little better than most. Your spouse may not be as well prepared, and especially if you have younger children, if it's in the media or whatever that they're going to school, they may be having a very difficult time dealing with the media and the pressures of what's going on. So we'll provide $5,000 worth of family grief counseling for the family to get through the situation. If you're still active duty and you get put on unpaid administrative leave while they're trying to figure out exactly what happened, we're going to offer you up to $2,500 a month for 3 months, a supplemental benefit. And the intent of that is not to make you whole. It's not probably even close to making you whole on what you're earning. What the intent is give you enough money so that you can make the primary payments in your life still, such as a mortgage payment or a car payment or college funding or whatever the case happens to be. But we're going to give you a little bit of supplement to help keep you above water. If the situation is completely out of control, and this was derived from a few years ago from the Ferguson, Missouri situation, where you have to actually relocate. You have to maybe move, maybe even change your identity, whatever the case happens to be. We will give you up to $10,000 to relocate. Now, I hear a lot of times that my homeowner's policy will cover if I get involved in a shooting, or I bought an umbrella to cover that. And if you believe that a homeowner's policy or an umbrella policy will cover you in the event of a shooting, hate to say, you're mistaken. The reason that is all homeowners insurance companies, doesn't matter what company you have, if you look in the exclusion section under liability, usually it's item number 1. Any intentional act is excluded. And so even if it's justified, such as a home invasion where you were justified to protect yourself, you intentionally pulled the trigger. When you did that, it voided the homeowner coverage. And a lot of people say, well, that's why I bought the umbrella policy. And unfortunately, they don't understand how an umbrella policy works or what it actually does. An umbrella policy doesn't add additional coverages or perils. What it does is it adds additional dollars to what's already covered in your underlying policy, such as your home policy. So if the home policy doesn't cover it, there's nothing the umbrella can extend coverage on or dollars on because there's no coverage. So regardless if you're active duty or retiree, it's the same cost. It's $229 per year. So it's a very, very reasonable cost for what we're offering here. And the company that wrote this or underwrites this, that does the claims, is called Specialty Risk of America. They're known as SPRISCA. They're out of Springfield, Illinois, A-rated company. So they've been backing this ever since we talked to them to build this policy. Once we got this policy built, put it through the Department of Insurance, we showed it to the various unions, and every union we approached with it endorsed it very quickly because they said this is a much needed product for all of our brothers and sisters out in the field, and even retirees, because they don't have the department coverage now. If you ever need to get a hold of us for questions or anything, you can go to our website, which is shielduins.com. On that website, you can print off an application, you can print off a copy of a brochure, you can actually see a copy sample of the entire policy, so you can see the real language in the policy, not just a brochure. If you want to get a hold of me, again, I'm Michael Baker. I'm in the Aurora office. You can reach me at that address or that phone number and email. Dean is in a Rockford office, so here's our contact phone numbers and emails. Feel free to call us or email us at any time. And I want to thank you for the time, and good luck.